The Missouri Compromise and the Compromise of 1850. In 1818, Missouri wanted to come into the Union as a slave state. At the time, there were 11 free states and 11 slave states. A free state, therefore, had to join as well to keep the balance of free and slave states equal. So in 1820, Maine joined as a free state, and Missouri got to join as a slave state, keeping the balance. Also, no more slave states were allowed north of the 3630 parallel. This was called the Missouri Compromise. In 1830, Arkansas came in as a slave state, and Missouri came in 1837 as a free state, maintaining the balance. In 1850, Congress revisited slavery, but there were many issues. First, it was disputed on whether or not the territory gained from the Mexican-American War should allow slavery. Also, California, after the Gold Rush, had enough people to become a state, but it wanted to become a free state. Since there wasn't a slave state that could come into the Union with it, California would offset the balance. And finally, the slave market in Washington, D.C. was a huge business, even though it was above the 3630 parallel. So Senators Henry Clay, Daniel Webster, John Calhoun, and Stephen Douglas got together to create the Compromise of 1850 in order to solve these issues, and here's what they came up with. First, the territory gained from the Mexican-American War would be able to vote on the issue of slavery. Also, Washington, D.C. would no longer have a slave market, but slavery would still be allowed there. And finally, California would be able to come in as a free state, but there would be no slave state to match it. They also created the fugitive slave laws, which made it so that slaves found in the North who had escaped must go back to the South. Slaves also did not get a trial, and these laws were more heavily enforced by police. These laws forced slaves who wanted to be free go all the way to Canada, and abolitionists felt even stronger about ending slavery. This ended up dividing the nation further and delayed war longer.